So I want to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers' current quarterback situation and how Kenny Pickett has been looking so far at Steelers training camp. Lots of you guys have probably heard that in his first week, he wasn't looking too good. He actually was moved up to the second team yesterday, even though Mike Tomlin said, don't read into that too much, even though he said you guys probably will. So I want to go through sort of how he was looking week one, how he looked yesterday as well, and get my thoughts on sort of what's going down here in Pittsburgh. But if you guys are new to the channel, I put out NFL news throughout the week, so feel free to subscribe if you want to see all NFL news. So this offseason, the Steelers, of course, come in and sign Mitch Trubisky to a 2-year, $14 million contract in March, and then a month or so later decide to come in and draft Kenny Pickett 20th overall. And so I think when you look at the current, quarterback situation here, the competition going on, we have Mitch Trubisky, who is now pretty much a veteran in this league after being in Chicago, Buffalo, now here in Pittsburgh. But we still do have Mason Rudolph here, who's been here for a few seasons, which sort of does give him a little bit of a leg up early here in camp. And then we have Kenny Pickett, rookie QB. And I think when we look at rookie QBs in the NFL, it's so easy to judge them way too quickly. And when we look at quarterbacks like a Kenny Pickett, like other rookies around the league, I mean, when they're coming into their first or second week of training camp and practices, like, it's super hard to judge them and say, okay, well, they threw a few picks here, like they're going to be a terrible quarterback. It's way too early to judge these quarterbacks, and I even think that that can be the case even a little bit throughout, players' first seasons. They obviously develop and grow as the years go by. And so I think it's way too early to judge Kenny Pickett and what he's done. But here I want to read from an article from The Athletic by Mark Kaboli, who broke down how Pickett was looking in his first week. So he says here, Trubisky and Rudolph weren't spectacular by any means, but it has been quite obvious through 2 practices that they are far ahead of Pickett, which shouldn't be a surprise. It seems like everything is a tad too fast for Pickett, and he's throwing to a spot and not to an open receiver. It's not a concern right now. Rudolph's first week as a rookie was much worse. Some were questioning how he could have been so good in college. Pickett will catch up. It has been quite rough so far. His first 2 passes were an interception by Chris Steele and a pass knocked down at line of scrimmage. He was perfect during his 4 7-on-7 passes, though. Pickett is easily the most nimble in the pocket. He is much quicker than both Rudolph and Trubisky, and showed that Thursday. So week 1, Kenny Pickett not looking too great, but as I said earlier, it makes sense. He's a rookie. He's having to pick things up, and I don't expect him to come in and look better than, Trubisky and Mason Rudolph, who've already been in the league for years and years. And then we have an interesting quote here from offensive coordinator Matt Canada in the past few days, who said this: Mason has made a lot of plays at times. He's played very well at times for us, Canada said. He's got a great shot at it. He's being treated that way. His history with our plays, with our system, is a positive for him. So when we look at this quarterback situation, the Steelers are allowing these guys to compete it out and fight it out for this, starting spot. Personally, I think that Mitch Trubisky is going to win this starting role. Even though Mason Rudolph may be looking good right now, I feel like Trubisky, with them giving him, a 2-year, $14 million contract, I just think considering he already has, time here, experience in the league, that he's going to beat out Kenny Pickett. I think maybe later in the season, depending on how Trubisky is looking, the Steelers could move on to Kenny Pickett. But I think they'll give him some time to wait and see how he looks, behind Mitch Trubisky. And then here from yesterday's practice from The Athletic as well, in a reversal from the first week, Pickett took all the second-team snaps but was only marginally better than his rocky start last week. It was a run-heavy practice that took throws away from him, but there was still a time or two when he went with a pre-snap read or held onto the ball a little too long. With the quarterbacks not getting hit, it is sometimes difficult to conclude whether the passer would have been sacked. During a live team period, Pickett stayed in the pocket a little longer before exiting to his right and being able to hit a receiver on the sidelines for a nice gain. In live action, Pickett probably would have been sacked in that instance, but it was still a nice pass, pitch, and catch. He had a solid RPO completion to Gunnar Olszewski and a hookup with Miles Boykin. So this is definitely a QB situation to keep an eye on throughout the season, because who knows what's going to happen if Trubisky comes in here in Pittsburgh and starts playing poorly. I think that fans are going to be, chanting for Kenny Pickett to come in here and get started. And I even heard from a reporter from the Steelers saying that in one of the first days of practice, Mitch Trubisky threw a bad ball and people were screaming, put Kenny Pickett in. So if Trubisky starts off poorly and isn't looking good, I think there's going to be lots of pressure from, this fan base from Pittsburgh to put Kenny Pickett in, because they did spend a first-round draft pick on him. So personally, my prediction, Mitch Trubisky starts the season. Maybe halfway through the season, Kenny Pickett comes in if Trubisky isn't looking good. But that's all the news for today. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I'll see you guys next time.